What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. Champions League is back this week. So back with a Champions League preview. I was supposed to be on here today with AK, but AK couldn't make it. But the show must go on. I didn't want to obviously let another day go without recording a video or a Champions League video. So I just thought I'll just go at it on my own. Before I get started, if you can please subscribe to the channel, click the like button, turn on your notification to know whenever I upload onto YouTube. And let me know what your thoughts are. Comment, let me know what your thoughts are on this week's Champions League fixtures. And let me know about your predictions as well. Let's go. Where should we start? Let's start with a quick preview of like the first round of games. I don't think there was any huge surprises in those games, to be honest. I think those the teams you expected to win won their games, and I think I had AK on here as to do a preview before the game started, and he got majority of those results right. So I think the only one he got wrong was just that I think he predicted the upset at the City ground. He had Napoli beating City. It wasn't too far off. It weren't too far off because obviously it weren't really a contest with Napoli getting their red card. So I didn't even think he really had a chance in terms of that prediction. But he got the rest right. They weren't really hard, to be honest with you, but look, he still got the rest of these predictions right. And it's the reason why I wanted to try and get him on today to see what his predictions are going to be for this week's game. But in terms of like just to summarize that, I don't think there was any real surprises or the teams you expect to win won. The big games between Chelsea and Bayern, it was competitive, but Bayern obviously came out on top. Harry Kane came out on top when it comes to goals. He scores when it matters. Chelsea didn't take their chances earlier on, and that was probably the start, was it, or the game before that was probably the start of Chelsea's bad run. And let's just see whether they'll bounce back or not. So look, what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to go through the Premier League. I'll focus on the Premier League teams. Just a quick preview on their games, my prediction, and see whether I get as much right as AK did last time. I'll start off with Chelsea. They've got the old manager coming back to Stamford Bridge, which is Jose Mourinho. He's only just taken over Benfica. I think it's been a week now. He had his first game over the weekend. He won his first game 2-0, I believe the scoreline was. This is an opportunity for Chelsea to bounce back. It's an opportunity to have 11 players or finish the game with 11 players for once. The two other games, you can argue that they could have won the game. There would have been, well, at least it would have been a lot more competitive if they had 11 players on the pitch, but they shot themselves in the foot. I think the first thing for now is to make sure they finish the game with 11 players. And Benfica hasn't really had a good start to the season. It's the reason why they brought Jose Mourinho in. They're currently third on their third in their league. They lost the first game at home. I think was it 3-2 to Karabakh? Yeah, they lost 3-2 at home. And I think the manager got sacked right after that. But they got the manager bounce back over the weekend. They won the game. And obviously, in Jose is going to go there to try and get some sort of result. So which will make Chelsea's task a lot more difficult than he already is. Chelsea obviously needs a win. They just need to get the confidence back. I think Cole Palmer's still out for another 2 to 3 weeks, but I think they should still have enough to beat Benfica. Chelsea will probably concede. I think for their own sake, not to concede first, because I feel like Jose will try and park the bus if they do concede first. But if they score first, I can see Chelsea winning this 3-1 or so. So I'll go for like I'll go for a 3-1 scoreline when it comes to Chelsea. Then we have Spurs. Spurs is away to Boulder Glint. Was it Boulder Glint, shall I say? Boulder Glint. This was a team that they played last year in the semi-finals of the Europa League. I think they have the artificial pitch as well, Boulder Glint. But obviously, Spurs has not got experience going out there, playing out there. This is Thomas Frank's first away European, or I say European, but he played the Super Cup, but first Champions League or European game, what should I say? So this is the first time he's going to experience such environment. I think they're second in their league. Spurs. I'm not. I'll be honest with you, because I honestly think Boulder Glint is a good team, and I think they came down. They came back from. There was 2-0 down away from home against Sparta Prague, I believe it was. In the first game, came back to make it 2-2. I know Spurs had it and went their way last year. I'm not too sure. I think this might be one of those games that can be a potential draw, because Boulder Glint has been a good European team for a while now. They obviously got all the way to the semi-final last year, and they've been, I think, is it 2 to 3 years now that they came out of nowhere, and they've really impressed in the European stage. So I'm not too sure whether this won't be easier. You might look at the name on paper, but it most certainly won't be easy. And I honestly think it might be a draw or Boulder Glint win. So I'll say 1-1 or 2-1 to Boulder Glint. Boulder Glint. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. And then we have Liverpool. Liverpool, first defeat over the weekend. Let's be honest, I think a lot of us saw that coming. They've got away with it for far too long. They're going to need to start taking better control of games. I know the manager loves to play on the front foot. At the moment, he's not getting what he wants from like the forward line. Salah is not up to his best. We all know what Salah is like anyway. He doesn't really have to play up to his best to contribute to the team. I think most importantly is more around Florian Wirtz. For me personally, I don't really think Florian's been that bad. I just think Florian would need a lot more time. I think because of the price tag, we tend to forget that he's still a young player coming from Germany, and there's been a lot of that. If we look back at it, when Havertz got that move to Chelsea from Bayer Leverkusen, he struggled, and I think that was for a lot of money as well. But I do think there's a different talent from Havertz. I honestly do believe that he will eventually start performing sooner or later. And the way in this day and age, everyone equates assist or goals to great performance, and doesn't necessarily mean that. And I don't think necessarily he's been terrible, but I know obviously because of the price tag, people will expect a lot more from him. But it's still early on. Liverpool fans just got to be patient. And going away from home to Galatasaray, it's a difficult place to go to. And this is another hard one to call, I'll be honest with you, but I do think Liverpool they have got more than enough experience in the team, more than enough like European experience. Even though they've made a few signings this summer, apart from Kirkers, I do think a lot of them don't. A lot of their signings already have European football experience. Playing a lot of them has played in the Champions League before, if not at least minimum Europa League. So I'd still think they can go away and get that result. I'm not sure if Osimhen is fit for Galatasaray. It will make a huge difference. With Liverpool's high line, having someone like him running in behind, that will be a major threat for Liverpool. But who else is there? Sané, or I can't forget that they signed Sané. But I think more than anything, I think it will be Osimhen that will be the threat if he is fit. It's going to be it might be just a bit to prove too powerful for like the defenders, because a lot of the times with Konate and Van Dijk, obviously they always have the pace to match up with players, and they always have the physical strength. But this time around, they've got a striker that can do it all. He can compete with them with the physical strength. He can also compete with them with pace, and with the high line. I think if he is playing, I think it will definitely be a challenge for them. But I think Liverpool can get out there with a win. I think they've got more than enough experience. I think their experience in this type of games will prove key. So I do see them maybe getting away with like a 2-1 or something along those lines. But knowing Liverpool, there might be more goals. It can be a 3-2, 4-3, whatever it is. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's goals they concede, but they also score themselves. Because Galatasaray's defensive line is not great at all. I'm not sure if he will play. They've got Sanchez that used to play for Spurs. So I don't think their defensive line is great. So they've got more than enough opportunity, Liverpool, with their threat going forward to win the game. And the current team that's in form really is Arsenal. As much as I hate to say it, this should be a straightforward game for them. It'll be interesting to see what Mikel Arteta does with the lineup, knowing that they're at home in the Champions League. Would he want to change the team around? Look, they've got, with the depth they've got in the team, it doesn't really matter if he puts some players on the bench. There's going to be a strong lineup regardless. But it'll be interesting to see what he does. They've got West Ham on the weekend. West Ham just got a draw today against Everton. They've got a new manager. Would he want to keep some of the players fresh for the weekend? They'll be buzzing after the win against Newcastle anyway. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on. But it should be no problem. I think the only thing I'll be keen to see will be more the starting lineup than anything. In terms of the result will take care of itself. I don't see Arsenal not picking up the 3 points against Olympiacos. And then you have Newcastle. Newcastle are playing Royal Union, SG. I think this will also prove as a difficult game for Newcastle. I think one thing we've seen from Newcastle from the beginning of the season is they have missed a sack. They struggle in the final third of the pitch. They can do all the hard work in midfield. I think Tonali has been brilliant this season, but they are struggling to get goals. They are creating goals. I'm not saying they're not creating chances, but they are struggling away from home in the Champions League. And I believe Royal, let me just check that they won their first game. Yeah, they went away to PSV and they beat PSV 3-1, and it was quite impressive, actually. I remember the highlight now. It was quite impressive. And they're currently on top of like the Belgium league. So I think this is they're unbeaten as well in the Belgium league. I think they played 9, won 7, drew 2. So it's gonna be tough for Newcastle. I don't think Newcastle will beat them. I honestly don't think so. I think I'll call it a draw 2-1 to Royal Union. I'll be surprised if Newcastle beat them. If Newcastle does, well done to them because of the form they're in and the way this. I think if Newcastle do win, I think they'll sneak a 1-0 win. But I'll go for Royal Union to win this game because of obviously Newcastle's form recently and they're struggling to score goals. And then you have Monaco, Man City. This will be a tricky game because Monaco started off well as well in the French league. And obviously, Man City, they can prove vulnerable at the back, but they've been quite stable. Was it the last 3-4 games they've used the same back four? I know you might change tweaked it a bit over the weekend. Guardiola did come off as well. I'm not sure whether his injury is serious or not. So if they're using the same back four, I do think City will still win this. I'm not sure if Rodri will be fit. I know Rodri said he was feeling pain in his was it the same leg that he was injured that he was out for a long time. So I'm not sure if he will be fit. But I still think I'm just gonna go for City. But what I think I do want to see, I'll be interested to see is Monaco's got a lot of young stars in their team, so I'll be interested to see how they get on against City. And last but not least, I think the biggest game of this game week will be Barcelona and PSG. Lamine Yamal's back from injury. He came off the bench on the weekend. Dembele is not going to make this game. PSG won over the weekend as well. But then the last week Monday against Marseille, this is the big game. I see a lot of goals in this game. I won't be surprised because both of them press quite high with Barcelona's high line and the pace with PSG's got with their attackers. I think it will be quite interesting to see how this game plans out. I think Barcelona will beat them because Barcelona is at home. But I would love to see. I think what's fascinating about this game is because both of them love to take control of the game. Both of them love to have the ball. They love winning the ball back as quick as possible. There's how their play is quite similar, and they both got strong centre midfielders. So I would love to see who takes control of this game, especially away from home. Because I'll find it very impressive if PSG can take control of the game, and then with like the forward line that Barca has got, saying it's a shame that Dembele is not. I don't think he's going to make this game, but the rest of them should be there playing. Yeah, so I think Desiree he's also out as well, actually. So PSG will be light. So I think Barca will nick it. I think we'll get a few goals. I won't be surprised if he's similar to the Barca Inter Milan game, but obviously it's slightly different. I don't think Barca will be as dominant as they were against Inter Milan. So I think it will be 3-2. I'll go with 3-2 Barca. But this is a game I'm definitely looking forward to. There's nothing better as a neutral watching two top teams going against each other. And this is probably one of the reasons why I like the new format, because obviously this type of games that we get on quite early, we're almost guaranteed one or two top games every Champions League game week. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on. But yeah, that's all the games I'm going through for this week. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know what your thoughts are in regards to the game. Let me know what your predictions are. And if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this with your friends and family, click the like button, turn on your notification button so you know whenever I upload onto YouTube. And let me know what type of videos you also want to see. If you want to see something different, I did say I'm going to do different type of videos this season. I will just bear with me. I know at the moment I'm just doing match reaction previews of games and just doing just talking about any major talking points in the league really for now. But I will start providing different type of videos. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in, and I'll be back soon. Peace.